Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Okay. Mm, Okay. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining today's Code Without Barriers virtual meetup. Happy to see you all have joined today with us, and excited for the today's session. And the topic for today is unlocking success for women in technology. And today we have Anupama Natarajan, who is joining us for the session, who is going to be helping us understand about how we can crack into the technology region, and to be proceeding and to be getting better at your career. So we will directly get into the session. Before that, I just want to mention that the session is recorded, and also there is a certificate of participation at the end of the session. So make sure you stay till the end of the session to be receiving it. And we'll also be sharing resources and the community links in the chat box. Feel free to check it and join our community for the upcoming sessions and free opportunities in our community. That's it from my side, and the stage is all for Anupama for getting started.
Cool. Thanks, Chirag, and welcome everyone for the Unlocking Success for Women in Technology session. I'll just quickly share my screen here. Cool. So, this is an interesting session. Normally, when I deliver any sessions, people engage with me to start delivering technical topics. And it was interesting because Rag reached out to me and said, like, okay, so Anupama, like, can you deliver something for women who are want to get into technology, but they always find that there is some sort of barriers that are preventing them in order to get into technology, and how do you break those barriers, and how do you unlock them and then move forward and have a career in technology. And it was quite interesting because even I started my career as a developer back in India. So I had a bit interesting career because I started my career back in India. Then I had to move to New Zealand for family reasons, and then I have to re-establish my career again in New Zealand because it's a totally different country I have moved to, and again I have to prove myself. Okay, so to get into the technology space, and also whether it's whichever country I was in, it's always challenging because there is a lot of barriers being a woman to get into technology or even to sustain in technology, and how do you break those type of barriers, and that's what exactly I want to talk about as part of today's session. So before we get into today's session, a quick introduction about myself. I'm Anupama Natarajan. You can call me as Anu. As I said, I'm based in Wellington, New Zealand. And if you have any questions or anything that you would like to discuss post this particular event, feel free to reach out to me on my email address. My X platform account is here. And also, I'm available on LinkedIn. And currently, I'm working as a data and AI consultant. I have my own organization through which I'm doing consulting. And yeah, so the growth of this has been um, gradual to where I am currently, and I come up with 20 plus years of experience in the IT industry. And also, as I said, I started my career as a developer, and then I moved on to a senior developer role, solutions architect, and been there in that space for 10 years. And then because I was passionate with the data from the get-go, so then I decided, after 10 years, there was an interesting piece of work where it showed me the fascinate world of data, and that's how I got into my data career and never looked back again, because I think that kept me going. And for me, data is all about how do we make data accessible and available for everyone, and that's where AI came as another way of how to effectively use data. And that's why I had the passion of both data and AI. And yeah, so here I am, and I'm going to share some of my personal experiences as part of this topic, and also what I used in terms of breaking these barriers when it comes to being a woman who has to work in technology space. So I'll be sharing some of my tips and tricks along with you. So if you have any questions, just hold your questions right up to the end of the session. I'll be taking up the questions at the end of the session so that I can give some detailed responses to that. Cool. So just to start with, as we all know, the tech industry has been historically male dominated. So even though in the most last, I would say last 5 years or so, there is a lot of talk about diversity in tech. But when I started my career and things, it was all male dominated. And also like what researchers have shown is in the recent years, where when there are diverse teams, they are being more innovative and they used to perform much better than it used to be and when it was male dominated. But still women face a lot of technology based challenges, right? So in this particular session we are going to talk about what those challenges are and how do we unlock those challenges so that we can be successful in the IT sector. So let us look at a little bit of statistics before we get into the talk today, right? So even like almost 28% of women who make up the overall tech force. So if you look at from the recent studies, this is what the statistics tells us. So especially if you look at it from a leadership role perspective, especially the senior leadership roles, still women hold only 14% in the tech industry. And the under representation still exists. And it is not a social issue, but it is an economic issue. And this is where the diversity and innovation has to improve in order to improve the organization success. And as you can see, like as I said, in the last 5 years or so, there is a huge drive in terms of people talking this topic heavily, and a lot of women are also even coming out and like me, who are sharing their experiences to get more women into the technology space. But still, there is something preventing women to get into the technology space exactly because of this underrepresentation. So I want to talk about some of the challenges which women face in technology space. So the first thing is around the gender bias. So women are almost they are being underestimated. So especially like I have my own personal experience, as I told you, right, like around 10 years of my career, I became a solutions architect. So when I went and sat in the architects meetings or somewhere, uh, everyone is in the room around me, especially in the review board sessions, it's all male. And sometimes when I try to convey a point, I sometimes I feel like I never been given the opportunity to be listened. So I think I never been given the opportunity to share my opinion. So people will just try to cut short my conversation or move on to the next part because they never want to listen to what I am trying to say, especially if I'm trying to give the technical guidance. And that sometimes is really upsetting when you are in the meeting and you don't have any fellow women architects next to you or in the room to just notice that and assist you with that. And but still you need to keep moving on, right? So how do you actually address these type of things? um, just let us go through the problems first and then I'll tell you the techniques that you can apply. The other one is the imposter syndrome. So women themselves have got a lot of doubt. And that's what I feel like sometimes if men know about a particular topic, even only 50% of that, they are confident enough to say like, okay, they know much about the topic. But even women know up to 75% of the topic, they will be just will be set back and thinking like, "Ah, I don't know 100%, so how do I go and apply for this particular role, or how do I go and tell them that I know about this topic?" So that's always there, and especially they they their confidence level is a bit low in comparison to men. And another challenge is also the lack of mentorship. So women always struggle to find mentors or sponsors who can guide them in their career journey. And this is totally true because I have to, when I'm looking for like a mentor for my career, it was really hard. And it doesn't need to be always women also, like even though sometimes we feel like a women should have a women mentor, but sometimes I have to, in my days, like I didn't have a lot of women mentors, but there are a lot of men mentors. They were also helpful in terms of assisting, and it's just more around finding the right person who can guide you towards your career ambitions and stuff. But nowadays, like there is a lot of women available in terms of mentoring, and there is a lot of mentorships and mentoring circles that are available, which happens, and which I will also talk about how you can get into the technology space and gain the experience from them. And also work life balance is another challenge which you have we have noticed a lot when it comes to women, especially in demanding tech roles. And this can be really difficult for women, especially like who still bear some sort of disproportionate amount of caregiving responsibilities. And this is a big challenge because it's not something that can be easily solved, but there is a lot of organizations trying to help these type of women. And we will talk about that also, like how these uh, like the work life balance responsibilities can also be addressed. And limited access to networking and career development resources. So networking plays an important role, and we'll talk about that, why it is really important and how it plays an important role. But lack of networking opportunities and also career development opportunities for women, that also can just get them down into uh, like in terms of like having barriers in terms of progressing in their career development. So why it is really important to increase women representation in tech? First of all, women bring no new perspectives into any role, and which means like it is going to lead to a lot of greater innovation in the organization. So they are going to bring in a lot of perspective from a problem solving technique things, and also like new opportunities. And also diverse teams are able to create they can creatively solve problems, and this is really important from a tech industry perspective. And also having women in leadership roles can also improve the performance of the organization, because as I said, right, like men think in one way, women think in a different way. When you add these two dynamics together, the output of that is going to be delivering better results for the organization. And also diverse teams is going to bring in more inclusive work culture, where people will be feeling more empowered and also like valued, and they will be contributing more of their best work to the organization. And also like having more women in tech is also going to create role models for the next generation women tech leaders, right? So which means by looking at people who are successful in tech, this is going to attract other women also to say like, okay, how can they just get into this industry and also successfully prove to the industry that they are capable and delivering successful results. So what are the different strategies now you can use in order to unlock the success in terms of women getting into technologies? First and foremost is like having proper mentorship or sponsorship programs. And I'm really happy for this particular session being organized, because this is one step forward in terms of not only discussing about technical topics, but also taking topics like this, where how to make it easy for women in order to break the barriers that are available in the technology space. So mentorship is one of the opportunity that you have got, whether it's a technical mentorship or whether it is a mentorship related to things what they do in terms of like with code with barriers. And I think Microsoft Code with Barriers, so sorry, Code Without Barriers, like they also have some mentorship programs, and which I would recommend you to participate, because participating in mentorship programs is like a giving a one-on-one opportunity to just to engage with mentors, like including like mentors like me. So we volunteer our time in order to work with women. So we share our experience, we share our tips and tricks around how do we handle these type of barriers in our work environment, and how they can leverage that. So if you get an opportunity to join any of the mentorship programs, I would be definitely recommending you to do so. And if you don't have a mentor, try and look for a mentor. And I think these days there is a lot of successful women you could see, and it just people are always willing to help. It's just more around reaching out to them. Reach out to them through their social media channels, and just say like, okay, I would be happy to if you have can be a mentor, and then you just establish that relationship with them. And that's how I started my career when I was looking for a mentor. Sometimes the mentor can be like now we are in the age where we are doing a lot of virtual calls, right? So it doesn't need to be a physical person. It doesn't need to be in the same country. They can be in a different location or anywhere, doesn't matter. But I think having a mentor is going to make your career much more successful, because they will share a lot of experiences, and also like that will also help you in terms of networking aspects. The next part is like skills development and training. So as I told, like you have technology is a space where you have to upskill yourself. Like as you know, like a lot of technology changes happens on a day-to-day basis. And with my role as a data and AI consultant, so I have to keep myself up to date. And there is a lot of material these days like available to keep yourself up to date. Like these type of sessions that we are having, like not only uh, we focus on women in tech sessions, right? But also technology based sessions. Microsoft also has got, like whether it's Microsoft or AWS or Google, doesn't matter. They all have a lot of material available on their website for free for you to upskill yourself. And a lot of technology tools or like a lot of trial versions are available. So you don't need to have everywhere the licensed version. So if you want to practice a tech, there are trial versions that you can use, like a 60-day trial or a 30-day trial. And these tools are going to help you in order to come up to speed with things. And another thing I will ask you to do is attend a lot of boot camps. A lot of organizations are organizing free boot camps, and also like certification programs. And there is a wide range of, like if you go to meetup.com, right, there is a wide range of meetups that are happening across the world. And because of the COVID pandemic, still a lot of meetups are still like they are running in a hybrid mode. So catering for both like a physical as well as virtual audiences. So I would definitely recommend you to take up this and participate in your local meetups. And so one of the thing I was doing early in my career is like I used to go to the meetups locally, like because those days virtual meetups were not there, but physical meetups used to be there. And not only I go there to learn about the technical topics, but also like I tend to find an opportunity for networking. As I told you, right, your mentors doesn't need to be always the women, but also there are male mentors who are available, who will help you to just guide you around what to do. So for instance, like my first talk, which I didn't even know, like I had the ability to present topics. And that was identified by a mentor in my meetup. So I went to the meetup, and this person who is a male who recognized that I'm coming to this meetup regularly, and he just came and asked me saying, Anupama, I see you coming to this meetup on a regular basis. You definitely would have got something that you can share with the meetup community. I said, like, I'm not a geek. And because I had this imposter syndrome myself, like because I thought like you have to be a geek if you have to present on a particular topic. And then he said, not really. So here people come on a day-to-day basis, like if any problems that you are able to solve, that you can share, like a lot of people would benefit from that. And he gave me the opportunity to come and just talk about a topic, and I thought, okay, just give a try. Nothing wrong in giving a try, right, when someone is motivating you to this extent. And also the other thing he mentioned to me is this is a small community. It's only 15 to 25 people who are in this room, so it's a close community. No one is going to even if you make a mistake, it's not a big deal. You can learn from your mistakes, and they give constructive feedback, and you won't have a better crowd to present than this. So then made the call, and I went and presented it, and you won't believe the first topic I presented, it was really successful, and I had a good feedback. Like there was a non-technical person who came to my session, and he was looking for a developer, so he came to the meetup to look for a developer for his business, and he came and told me that my topic was so easy to understand even for a non-technical person, and that really impressed me and says like, okay, so probably I have got some skill in here in terms of presenting complex things in a simpler way, so I should start doing this. So this is one part where this person who helped me in my to speak in my in the first meetup as my mentor. The second mentor, like I wouldn't say this person as a mentor, but I would say more an influencer. So after this first talk, I had the opportunity, like I saw this information on the website where Microsoft were calling for speakers in New Zealand to speak at the Microsoft Ignite event. So Ignite is a event that used to happen in all the countries. Like this is back in the days, and you can just apply for any particular topic. They will shortlist the speakers, and then they also give you the training so that you can present it, because it's a big stage and you would be having more than 100 people in the room. So you should be able to capable of presenting in front of that crowd. So I was just presenting between 15 to 25 people in my meetup, right? And that's the experience I had. Like I did after that couple of meetups presentation. So I thought I'm going to try and I wanted to apply for the Ignite conference. But again, imposter syndrome, it says like, okay, Anupama, like you're capable of presenting between 20 to 25 people. Does it really mean that you have the capability to present in front of 100 plus people, that too on a big Microsoft conference called Ignite? Then I was a bit worried. I wasn't applying. I was just thinking about it. And you won't believe, like 12 o'clock midnight, they call for speakers were closing. I think I had everything, abstract and everything, but I didn't submit it. So at 11 o'clock in the night, I was putting everything together in the form. And because I had already prepared, but I was reluctant to submit it, I thought, okay, I'll submit it and see. So I think almost 11:45, that's when I submitted the talk. If it comes, it's fine. If it doesn't come, not a big deal. At least I can be happy. I applied for a big conference. I had that confidence to apply for that. And believe it or not, I got selected. And I've been called for saying like, okay, we will give you the necessary training so that you can present it in front of the big crowd. And I took the part in the training, which was really good because it explained to me how to keep an audience engaged as part of a presentation. And then I was able to successfully present at the Microsoft Ignite conference. The interesting part is, like as I told, there was an influencer. Like once I finished the topic, it was well received, and also I got a really good feedback. So this is not from the participant in the conference or the other fellow speakers, or no one in that. It's the person who was allowing people to get into the rooms, and she was a woman, and she was just standing there listening to my conference and also listening to my topic, and also like letting people in as they are coming into my session. And once I finished and I packed my bags and I was about to leave the room, and she said, Anupama, it is nice to see women standing on the stage and then doing a presentation. And it was so nice. Like I was able to listen to this, and this has inspired me a lot. And I thought, like, oh, okay. So when I speak like this, it is inspiring other women like her. And she also wants to get into the tech space, and she's looking for a job. And this is a temporary job that she is doing in the meantime. And then I thought like this is what I should be doing. So I have to inspire more women, which means I have to go and speak at a lot of conferences, so that this is going to make other women to inspire and come out and have speak at conferences. And the reason why I'm sharing this is like as you can see, there is a lot of things that, especially the imposter syndrome, is one of the thing that is like uh, preventing a lot of women not to showcase what they are capable of. So you have to break that, and you need to come out. So, and by coming out, you will be able to showcase the skills and capabilities of what you have got. So moving on from that, the other thing also is, as I said, how do we do skills development and training? So skills development training is like participating in meetups, coding boot camps, certification programs. These are some of the ways like how you can keep yourself up to date. And I have a habit of reading blog posts and also like the X feeds every day. So in that way, like I can keep myself up to date on what's happening in the tech space. And also, like when it comes to technology companies, they have to also look at a way of how to proactively hire diverse people. So how to look for women technology people. And so where they have to be looking at some sort of like blind recruitment strategies where resumes need to be reviewed without identifying the candidate's gender. So which means in that way, like you can reduce the bias, and that's another way of making the hiring practices inclusive. And another opportunity is the work place flexibility. So this is actually one of the things that women basically face as a challenge, right? Especially women who has to start with a family life or want to take a career break because they have to take care of the home, the kids, and so on. That's another reason where we have started to notice like a lot of women uh, have left the career because again they leave the career and then they don't know how to get started back, like how to come back again. And that's something I have also noticed. And I told you, right, the reason, the introduction when I gave you, I said like I worked in India for 3 years and then I moved to New Zealand. Finding my first job in New Zealand was a pain, and it wasn't an easy task at all because I didn't have a New Zealand experience. So I had to how do I get the experience if no one gives me that opportunity? I think a lot of women can resonate with this one because if you don't get the opportunity, like how can you prove you have the skills or anything? Either they have to and they have to trust the experience I bring from overseas, or if not, like they have to give me the opportunity. So it was it was really a mission for me to even get the first job. But after getting the first job, it's more around you have an opportunity to showcase your talent. And then I had to never look back again because I was able to showcase my talent and keep moving on in my career. But getting my first break was a bit challenging. And of course, there was a woman who helped me in order to get my first break in New Zealand. And one thing I decided at that time is like I have to encourage, like how there was one woman who was instrumental in me getting my first job in New Zealand. How can I help other women also? That's one of the reason I started meetups in New Zealand. So where it gets an opportunity for women to come to my meetup, and I have can have conversation. I can link up people with them to say like if someone is looking for a job and then there is someone who is also looking for a candidate, then I can just introduce them together. So I made my meetup not only just to discuss about technical topics, but also giving opportunities for people who are looking for jobs as well as people who are looking for candidates. They can also mingle and look for opportunities in that fashion. So it was pretty good. And now I'm moving on to the next step, which is around, as I said, like flexible working hours is really important, right? So one of the biggest challenge is like, especially for women who are wanting to come out of like their career break, but they want to start back in the tech, but they are struggling around where do I start because the technology has moved on. So if I had two kids, like I had spent almost 6 years at home, but I couldn't keep up with the technology. Now, if I have to come back into the workforce, how do I do that? So I'm working on with a lot of women like that to sort of mentorship and also like training them in the latest technologies. So one such thing which I'm doing is through my company. I have started hiring women who had a career break. So I give importance to women who had a career break who wants to restart their career. I'm starting it simple. So I have got like around women I'm just hiring just to give them an opportunity. So not only just hiring them, but also giving them flexible working hours and also opportunity for them to upskill because I'm capable of upskilling them. So I can upskill them in technologies and also give them opportunities where they don't need to worry about work stress or anything. They can manage work and home equally. So I have started this in a small scale in terms of like 5 to 6 employees per year to start with. And this is my first year. I have started employing people. So mainly targeting towards women who had a career break. This is more, I have just given this opportunity starting from India because in India, I notice a lot of women who are having a career break, but they can't travel a lot. Especially to workplaces. So I'm identifying women in that space and then giving them employment. But slowly my interest is like okay, increase that across different like parts of the world, not only just focusing on India, but also like other regions where women who wants to come out of their uh, say area in terms of like having a family break, but then want to restart their career. The reason I'm highlighting this is there are a lot of organizations like this who are willing to give opportunity for women in terms of both flexible working hours and also like mentoring opportunities to technically bring yourself up to speed. And so if you know of any Indian women who are actually had a career break, want to restart their career, ask them to reach out to me, and I'm happy to just provide them whatever opportunity I have at that point. And as I said, I'm growing slowly. So if there is at this point, I'm just focusing Indian women, but I think definitely in the next few years, I'll be starting to open it up much more wider to the other parts of the world. But the key part is not for freshers at this point. It is mainly for increasing the confidence for women who had a career break that I'm giving opportunities. But as I said, there are a lot of other organizations who are willing to open up these type of opportunities, especially for women who wants to start their career or who had a career break. It's just more around tapping up those opportunities. But how do we tap into those type of opportunities? Where do we look for these type of opportunities? Cool. So that's where I think the things around role models comes into play. So these are some of the uh, role models that we have got in the industry space. So role models are pretty much crucial, especially to inspire, as I said, right? Like you need some role models to inspire yourself in order to pursue with the tech careers or even in leadership positions. So these are some of the examples of the role models, and it would be great if you can just go and read a little bit about them and how they basically like broke the barriers in the space around like where it was male dominant and how they made their presence in the tech industry. So you have the Ada Lovelace, who is often considered the world's first computer programmer and laid the groundwork for much of the technology we use today. And then we have Reshma Saujani, like the founder of Girls Who Code. So is working tirelessly to bridge the gender gap in technology. And this is mainly she has been empowering young girls to pursue coding and programming. So that's a great thing to do that because it's just giving them that confidence. And then Ginny Rometty, who is the former CEO of IBM, showed the world that women can lead some of the big tech companies in the world. And Megan Smith, who is the former US Chief Technology Officer, another great example of a woman leading in tech and government. So these are women who are not only pioneers in their own right, but they also serve as examples of what is possible for women in the tech world. And of course, like why not you can be one of that person who will be in the role model space in the future. Okay, as I said, right? So how do we get to know about opportunities? How do we get to know like how do we grow in the tech career and so on? So this is where building a support network is really important. So as I told you, right? So mentoring is an important aspect, and similarly, networking is an important aspect. So when it comes to building a strong network, that can be a game changer in a tech career, especially like as you know women doesn't have a lot of connections within the industry. So focus on networking events like women who code, or even like there is a lot of women groups that are available online. So that will help you. If you join those groups, there are some free groups as well as paid groups. So they offer a lot of opportunities for women to connect with mentors, peers, and even potential employers. And also like platforms like LinkedIn are also like really valuable. I would say even Facebook, like you can create with LinkedIn, you can create and maintain professional network, and also with Facebook, like you can showcase like you can have groups, women groups that you can even talk or discuss about technology related topics and things. So what happens when you have these type of networks, right? So when there is an opportunity, like if I go for an interview, that's not a role for me, or if I hear about any role that is not something for me, but I can just inform other women to attend for that or go for that. I can just publicize that because that's where the networking part is going to play an important role. So there is a lot of networking opportunities that you have got. So if you haven't, even meetup is, as I said, right, virtual meetups are an interesting opportunities, because when you are attending the meetups, then there is an opportunity to mingle with, sorry, with your peers, and that is also going to help you in a variety of ways. So keep looking for opportunities how you can network. So it doesn't need to be physically you have to be there in order to build the network, but also you can go and just do things in a virtual way, and you can just build the networking. And any people that you are getting introduced, connect with them and keep in touch with them. So follow them, what they are doing. So are they, do they have websites, do they write a blog post, or what do they try and do? Are they running their own business? Or just ask them, like, just to keep in touch, in case if they notice any job opportunities, share your skills with them. So these are some of the things that you can do. And also, like, one woman can another also understand another woman's problem, so they can easily relate to it. So you don't need to feel bad in terms of asking for help, because that's another thing we never do, is like we never ask for assistance or any help. You have to break that also. Like, if you are looking for technical skills, just ask for, like, okay, I want to upskill myself on this technology. I'm looking for some free certification programs, or what's available in the market. A lot of women are available who are there to help. And see, the X platform is there, Facebook is there, LinkedIn is there. Just you have to explore it, and you can do these things like from your home. You don't need to go to physically anywhere, and you can do this in your spare time. Like, you don't need, it's not a 9 to 5. And there are a lot of organizations. So for instance, the women which I'm hiring, as I told you, like, I'm giving them the opportunity to come back from their family break and to take up technical roles. I give them flexible working hours. So I said to them, like, you can just, I need 1 or 2 hours every day where they have to work with other people. The reason for that is just to build that network. But out of that, like, the rest of the hours, they can just work on their own time. I don't care whether they work Mondays or Saturday, Sundays, how they balance it when they are having kids, like whether they put the kids to bed and then they do the work or not. But I give them that flexible working hours so that they feel confident that they can still work. And it is so great to see how much these women are happy when you give them this type of opportunity. And how did they get that opportunities? Through networking. So I had to publicize it through a group of women I knew, and they publicize it to their network and so on. So that shows the value of how why networking is really important. So if you're not part of any network, I would definitely recommend you to join any sort of meetups, or LinkedIn groups, or Facebook groups, or just to build a community. Or if you don't have a community, just create a community and join, like a, have clear idea around what is this group is all about, and who are the women who are joining in here, and how you can, what is the particular aim of this particular group is, like, what do you need to share, what people can share and what they can't share, and so on. So in that way, like, this will become a good platform for a lot of women to just share their experiences and also opportunities that they hear about. So don't take networking as a light thing. So networking can do magic, and I would definitely recommend you to do that. If you're not already part of any networking groups, do networking. The other thing is also, like, some of the best practices, especially when you have in organizations, as I told you, right, in situations where I have got a lot of men who is working on how do I handle scenarios where people are not ready to listen. So a lot of organizations these days, they have diversity and inclusion policies. So that goes beyond hiring. And also, like, is a lot of leadership development programs. And so take an opportunity to participate in those leadership programs, because sometimes we women, as we think, like, okay, leadership is not a cup of tea for us, but that's not the case. So even I participated early in my career around leadership programs. It helps you to understand the dynamics of how to learn about people, and how do you just like, not only like, you don't need to be a manager or anything, but also how do you work with your colleagues, and it teaches you a lot of things. And also, like, I have measurable goals, and it's always important for women to have measurable goals. And also make sure the organizations they are working for, sometimes I used to check with them, what are the diversity and inclusion policies are, and whether the work environment is safe for women, and whether women are going to be valued. And some techniques to check that is like how many senior leadership positions are held by women, how many women are working in that organization. And so these are some of the ways that you can figure out like how much the organization give opportunities for women. And also I have seen a lot of organizations who celebrate women's achievement in tech through awards as well as recognition programs. So it is important like some of the techniques that you can figure out and see whether it is a great organization for you to work for is looking for these type of things, and whether they will be able to, yeah, how they will be able to contribute for your success going forward. And as I told you with my personal experience, right, so when I was working, it is in a male dominated world. How do I get my viewpoint to them? Sometimes I have to convey it multiple times, so I have to pitch my point multiple times. I'm never tireless, so I don't set myself laid back. So if something is wrong, it is not correct, I will say the first time. If I'm not being listened, I'll say that the second time and the third time. So until I make sure that they are listening to my viewpoint. And it is really important because that shows like you are strong, and you are strong in what you're trying to convey. So when you are confident to that extent, no one can stop you. And that's what I have personally experienced in my life until to date. And the confidence is main weapon I use, because if I'm confident about something, then I would never let down in terms of conveying my viewpoint to others, irrespective of whether I have a male or a female in front of me. So that's the important thing you need to have. So as I said, most women, they always think they know less than men. That is not the case. I have seen a lot of men who knew less than what I knew about. So it's all about like being confident, and then nothing wrong. Even if you said something wrong, it's always a learning thing, right? So you always learn from it. And no one, it doesn't mean men never get it wrong. I have seen men getting it wrong and they correcting it themselves, but they confidently do that. That is the only difference I have seen. So you have to be confident. You pitch your point if you think that is the right thing to do. And if you're not being listened, do it multiple times, and definitely you will be listened and you will get noticed. So what is the way forward? So I think if you want to get involved in the tech industry, participate in these type of programs a lot. So these type of sessions are going to motivate you, and also it will talk to you about like some of the tips and tricks that you can use in order to move forward in the tech industry. And also like the main reason for having these type of sessions to bring in more women to participate in the tech roles and confidently. And as I said, one of the thing with the women is like it's just more around don't think like you know little than men, you know more than men, and that is the confidence that you need to have. And also like make sure you have mentors, build a network, and also think about like women are not just always to work, but also there is an opportunity for you to participate in the leadership roles. And so for instance, like I started my career as I said a developer. Now I run my own company, and I'm trying to give employment to people, to women in my company. So it's more around growing to that level is, and you can grow, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that is the thing that you have to keep in mind. It's just more around, as I said, never let go your confidence, and keep yourself up to date, build a network, have great mentors. And I think doesn't matter whether it's a men or women. And then participate in these type of programs, because that is going to give you a lot of inspiration and motivation. And wherever possible, another thing also I will ask you to do is go and explore conferences. One thing I did early in my career, and I still do, is every year I keep a budget for attending conferences. So there are free conferences you can attend, but also there are some good paid conferences. So I save a bit of money and from my salary and put it aside to attend those conferences, because conference is another way, not only going and learning about technical topics or anything, but also a way of networking. Because even though we do a lot of virtual networking, sometimes physical networking also is really valuable. So once a year, one conference I make a point to go and participate and mingle with people and build a network, and then something I do it on a yearly basis. And I started doing this in my career, and which helped me in order to build my network, uh, and also like my pool of opportunities. So one thing I would definitely recommend is, yeah, attend at least one conference locally or internationally, doesn't matter, every year, and just make a point that you have to go. It's 1 or 2 days, right? You can take up the time in 365 days, 2 days. You can go for a conference, and that is not a big deal. So you have to make that opportunity to do that. And that's something I would definitely recommend. Cool. So women has got the technique to reshape the tech industry. So all these challenges that I have been talking about, right? So you will be able to overcome these challenges with having the proper mentorship, support, networking, and use these type of techniques in order to unlock some of these barriers. And as I told you, right, confidence is another important thing. So make sure that you are confident and you present yourself as a confident woman in front of the community. And this is going to help us to build a future where women will be equally represented and empowered to lead the tech world. So there are just quite a few things that I would ask you to do. One is mentor a woman in tech today. So if you are in a senior person, then probably start thinking about mentoring a woman. And there are a lot of organizations who are organizing the mentoring or providing mentoring opportunities. You can be a mentor or you can be a mentee. Look for those opportunities and do that. And also, like, if you are already working, advocate for diversity and inclusion in your workplace, support initiatives that is going to promote women in technology, and also continue to break the barriers. And you have to be an example for future generations for women in tech. So if you think about me, I think I had this opportunity where I had to break all these barriers and to be successful to be in the tech industry for 20 plus years. And I do speak in conferences, I do speak in meetups, I do have my own company, I do tech jobs, and still like I yes, I do mentoring, like when I get the opportunity to present in these type of sessions. And yeah, it just happens. And that's what I would recommend you also to do is, if you are in the state where you can share your experience with others, become a mentor. If you are like want to learn from others, identify a mentor for your career and keep growing. And this is really important. And don't forget the things that I mentioned. Confidence is really important, networking, and then make sure to pick a mentor and keep yourself up to date. There are no excuses these days because there is a lot of resources available to keep yourself up to date. If you have a mentor as well as like someone who can guide you, then probably like even self study is sufficient enough for you to just upskill yourself in any technology space. So with that note, I think pretty much that's what I wanted to cover as part of this session. So make sure, break all these barriers. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And that's what I would say. There is keep remember all the techniques that I have been discussing with you, and you should be able to easily have your own space in the tech career, and you can grow really confidently. So with that note, I'm happy to open up for any questions that you have got. So feel free if you have any questions or anything that you would like to discuss, happy to answer those questions. And for the next few minutes before we wrap up today's session.
Thank you, Anubhava, for the wonderful session. Think we went over a lot of topics that are really important and to keep an eye on. I hope you guys have some kind of note or something that you have pointed out so that you do not miss it. Anyways, we will have the recording posted in our YouTube channel to review if you guys want to go over it again. So yeah, it's a Q&A time. Feel free to type up the question. We'll give you a couple of minutes that you can type it. Or if you guys, anybody wants to directly ask a question, let us know. Raise your hands probably so that you can give you the mic access and directly ask Anupama. And I will also drop the certificate and the community links in the chat box so you can join our community for the upcoming sessions. And if you have any kind of help from our side that in your career, feel free to drop the questions in the community as well.
Sure. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me now, or if you want to reach out to me and at a later point with any questions that you have got, feel free to email me also. Much appreciated with that. And yeah, I'm yeah happy to open up for any questions that you have got. And this is another thing, when you get an opportunity like this, open up and ask questions. So you don't need to unmute, and if you're not if you're a bit worried about talking on the microphone, just put your question in the chat and we are happy to look into it and answer it, because this is the first step in terms of like how you can open up and just another way of like making use of opportunities.
Yes, definitely. That first step is what it takes to, overcome the rest of the steps
That's right.
ahead of it. So yeah.
Opening it up, right? And so this is like an icebreaker, break the ice. And
And also, I will drop the Code Without Barriers if anybody is interested. For as Swanbhava mentioned, there are challenges and mentorships provided over there as well. You guys can join there and get started with your journey.
yeah, definitely I recommend you to, as I said, like mentorship is important aspect. And also there is a lot of ways you can keep yourself up to date with learnings and keeping yourself up to date in the technology space. So as I said, if you are a bit shy to ask any questions right now, feel free to email me and just send me your questions. I'm happy to answer. But as I said, you have to break the ice and you have to be confident enough to talk and or even at least to chat in these type of sessions, because that is another way of breaking the barriers. And yeah, thanks, Sajan. Yeah. So I think, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And special thanks to Surag and the team for just organizing these type of sessions. As I said, normally I get called for like technical sessions. And so it is nice to see having these type of women in tech sessions. And feel free to reach out to me. And as I said, yeah, so I'm also in the lookout for giving opportunities for women, especially as I said at this point, just from India. If you have a career break, if you know of someone who had a career break, want to get back into the tech industry, I'm just looking for 2 to 3 women around in the data and AI space. So just ask them to reach out to me and I can just see what I can give as opportunities. And thanks, Surag, for providing me the opportunity to
Thank you for
present this
always
session.
coming back and sharing something that is, yeah, it is really valuable for the community. So yeah, I think nobody's having any questions. I think we can conclude the today's session. And I
Thank
also
you.
dropped Anupama's LinkedIn, so feel free to reach out directly over there. If you guys have any questions and not shy to be asking here. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining today, and we'll also be sharing the recording, and I also share the certificate link and also the community link, Code Without Barriers link, all in chat box. Make sure you check it out before you leave the session. Thank you everyone, and thank you Anupama
Thank
for
you.
the session.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. And yeah, I'll be in touch with you in one way or the other, or keep in touch with me through my social media channels.
Thank you.